Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed is a spiritual crossing of the threshold to the world of being a truly expanded human being. Join mediums Cheryl and Kelley for conversations about discovering deep spirituality, developing your intuitive and empathic skills, and personal mediumship. Each episode will focus on tips, tools, and techniques to help you understand and expand your own inner gifts of life journey. Now, your host of Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed, Kelley and Cheryl.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed. I'm Kelley Eckhart. I am your host. Cheryl is off this week, and I am here to welcome Lauri Albert to be my special guest, my co-host, and just we're going to talk about exciting things as usual. Her and I kind of go on our own tangent usually, but we're going to try to focus on, really like living with, focusing on our love, emotions, and leading with our heart first and foremost. Really just living heart-centered, I guess, is what you would call it, right?
Yeah.
You would call it, Lauri?
Absolutely. When you lead with love,
yeah,
for in any circumstance, it kind of mutes things down. Like if there's some tension or something, if you just feel the love, then it's all, it all kind of calms things down.
It does. And can I just share a little story? Children are so intuitive. And when my son was little, he's 15, he's going to be 16 next week.
Wow.
Anyways,
amazing.
He's my baby. But when he was little, he was we did unschooling and we did some homeschool classes. And he frequently, didn't fit in with the other kids because he has Asperger's. He's really highly gifted. And he was also a medium, right? And so he was like seeing dead people everywhere. Right. That's my kid, of course. And so I had a crystal store and he was obsessed with crystals and he would bring them to school all the time. And apparently this one mother was yelling at him while I was there because she thought he assaulted or insulted her daughters of some sort, which it wasn't even my son. It was some other kid. But she's like getting all mad and screaming at him in front of me. And I was just like, what are you doing? And he pulls out a rose quartz and grabs her hand and puts it in her hand. He's 6 years old. And it just instantly, like, she just stopped yelling and her whole demeanor changed and energy shifted. And she calmed down.
Oh my God.
And later on, I was like, why did you give her that rose quartz? He's like, well, she obviously needed some healing and some love, Mom. Did you see how it shifted her energy?
Oh my gosh.
But it's
at 6 years old.
Yes.
Whoa.
Well, he's not like that anymore. Now he's just like a total teenager punk. But I love him.
Yeah, I know. I heard somebody say that one time. It's like they come out of the womb and they're all so cute.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're teenagers and you're like, geez.
And they know everything and you're just so lame. Yeah.
They know everything about everything. I
the
love
whole
it.
world. But Mom, I need shorts. Mom, I need socks. Yeah, but they still need you.
That's so cute.
I know. Anyways, but that's my favorite example of, how leading with our heart really can shift the energy in a room with people, with anything in any situation.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
And I love that.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And it's interesting because I talk about that a lot whenever I give readings and stuff. It's like Spirit keeps wanting to say so much about how important leading with love is. And I told somebody one time, you're going to laugh. I told somebody one time, actually it was a group of people. I was doing this group thing and I said, you know what I feel like I'm supposed to tell you? Send that person, because they were talking about somebody that's irritating them or whatever. I said, throw them love bombs. And they were like, wait, what? And Spirit's giving me this, right? Spirit is giving me this. This isn't for me. This is for Spirit. So I have this visual, and I was describing this visual of love being a ball in my hand and just whipping it out the
Wouldn't that be great if you could just make like this ball that when it hit the ground, all these little hearts flew out?
I know.
And you could like throw it at people, but it
But
wouldn't hurt them. You know?
don't you think it would like really help? Like certain situations when somebody is like really stressed and they're like mad and all that stuff. I think, something like that, it would
Yeah,
like diffuse the situation,
it
I love
does. It does. I mean, my husband, he swears by like sense of humor.
it.
So like whenever I'm like really mad, he'll just crack this joke and know that I can't like be mad anymore.
Right.
And I'm like, damn it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Anyways,
So
but
true.
and we can send love to people that we feel like need it too. And it's interesting because I've had this happen over the years lots of times where somebody's on my mind and I'm sending them all this love because I feel like they need it. And
Yeah.
next thing I know, either I run into them or we pick up the phone and call each other or they
Yeah.
message me. And
Yeah.
it's like they felt it.
Yeah.
They feel it and they feel loved. And that's what they needed at that moment. They needed
Yeah.
that little push. And I
Yeah.
think we all do.
Sure.
Um,
Absolutely. It's so interesting. And you just reminded me of something, and I haven't done it in a little while. But in my morning meditations, I used to like pick one person every day and dedicate the meditation to them, you
oh, I
know?
love that.
Yeah, well, and then I was doing it for like a long time, and then I started forgetting for whatever reason. But whatever, I need to get back
Menopause, I
into
don't
it.
know.
So this was my reminder to get back into that, I think,
Yeah.
So,
I think like love has a lot to do too with like, prayers. We can send love through prayers from the
of
universe,
course.
right? And
Yep.
when my son was little, my oldest one, he was somebody that didn't always do well with change. And whenever we moved, he'd get like depressed as a kid
Mm,
and he would, withdraw. And so I wasn't in my spiritual sense yet, right? So I would just reach out to everyone I knew that prayed, and I get a little prayer circle going with all my friends, and everybody would just be sending him extra love. That was
oh,
what I prayed for them to send, and I would put little prayer requests in all the different churches around town, and he would immediately like cheer right up. And
yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like we can send love in so many ways,
yeah.
and ask the universe and
Because
our
love
angels. Yeah,
love is the highest vibration,
yes, it's the best.
Love always wins. It's just it. It always wins. So when you purposefully approach something or someone with love, what happened to me was over the course of years, you meet people, they come in and out of your lives or whatever. And there was this one lady who would just like, we just didn't, I'm not going to get into the story, but we just didn't get along. Well,
Right.
let's put it that way,
That
right?
happens. It
We don't,
happens.
we don't need to
Yeah.
get into the story, but I mean, you don't vibe with everybody. I get that.
Right. We don't. No.
And that's like real. I like to be
Yeah.
real about stuff, but
Yeah.
all of a sudden one day I was like, you know what? I am just going to go into my heart chakra and be love, just be the love.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, it's not like we're best friends because I don't want to give you that impression, but it's like all of a sudden there was like this chilled out relationship that happened, like it just started kind of melting a little bit, that
Yeah.
irritable feeling, it just sort of started melting a little bit, which was so beautiful. I
Yes.
mean, again, love is the highest vibration, and it
It
always
is.
wins. So if you are having a fight with somebody and you can, like your husband, or my husband, I shouldn't say your husband. Oh, geez. Oh my gosh. So guess what? A card just fell.
Oh, well, you have to read
Oh,
it.
I know, right? What is
That's
the
a
card?
sign, right? It like jumped out
Yes,
basically.
it really did. I mean, I hit it.
Tell
I,
you,
I will
it
say
doesn't
I
matter.
hit
Like
it.
it was the universe.
But check this out. This is what the card is. I think this is for all of us, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is so cool. It's the empowerment card.
Nice.
Isn't
Yes.
that great?
I
So
love it.
we are empowering right now. That's what
Yes.
we are here to do.
Empowering through
Empowering
love.
each other.
Through
And
love.
as Courtney says, tolerating each other.
If you're like grew up like me in a big family, I'm one of 5 kids plus 2
Wow.
stepsisters, which is 7.
Wow.
You really learn to tolerate and get along with everybody and
Yeah.
different personalities. Just because you are related doesn't make you instant best friends. Let me just tell you that.
Right.
I am one of a kind in my family.
Yeah.
I do not fit in with the rest, but I love them.
Well, I have to tell you, I don't either. I love my family so much, but several of them just don't believe in what I do. So,
Yes, yes.
I mean, we love them anyway. you know,
I am who I
Which-
am, and I
yeah.
don't make excuses for it, and I'm not for everybody, but I have love for everybody, and that's all
Yeah.
that matters. And I
Mhm.
understand,
Mhm.
and I think I understand. Like, somebody doesn't, want any part of this. That's fine, but
Mhm.
that doesn't, we could still talk and be friends or be close.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. It was really interesting because right before my mother passed away 4 years ago, and right before, the only thing that was left unsaid, obviously, I am outspoken. Like, I think it's pretty clear that I'm kind of outspoken, right?
Me
Well, my
too.
mother was very outspoken too, right? So there was hardly anything left unsaid between us, except for the fact that she couldn't understand the mediumship thing. She couldn't quite grasp it and whatever. But right before she passed, she was in her hospital bed and the nurse walks in. She goes, "Oh, this is my daughter, Lauri. Oh, she's a medium." And I went, Mom, oh my God. Like, we're in the middle of this hospisptal. I'm like, but
Yeah.
that was like her way of like,
Accepting.
I am very proud of you. That was,
Yeah.
oh, I'm going to start to cry.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah. And it's like, things have a way of working themselves out if we just look at, and we talk so much about, especially in the last couple of days, we talk so much about love, but you know what
Mhm.
we also need to realize is that right up there with love is also compassion. And if
Yes.
we can have compassion regardless of the circumstance, and it's hard sometimes, but if you can kind of, sometimes, I don't mean you, but like the collective you is what I'm saying, but if you can just have like just a little compassion and a
Mhm.
little bit of empathy for the other person of whatever's going on,
Right?
then it again, it sort of melts you into this beautiful place.
It
Does that make
does.
sense?
No, it
Yeah.
does.
And so I love talking about compassion. I've been really working on my own compassionate self lately, so that's kind of why I'm bringing that up.
Well, I think, compassion has a lot to do with the heart and love. You know, um, Sometimes we need to have compassion for ourselves,
Mhm.
because we can be our hardest critic. And
Yes.
that was a lesson I kind of am always dealing with myself. I'm going to cry if I start talking about it. But,
See?
I can be very hard on myself, my parenting, everything,
Mhm.
because I'm not perfect and I
Mhm.
made mistakes and I know that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean,
None of us are perfect. None of us are
no,
perfect.
no. And so my, therapist said to me, like, well, you gotta have compassion for you, but not only you, but like the other people that are affected. And I do, and you forget to think about, like, you're part of that hurt,
Yeah.
you know?
So
We
true.
we're human. It's a human experience, and we're here
Mhm,
to make mistakes and learn from
mhm,
them. And I feel like I am learning from them,
mhm.
and stuff. But I mean, we're not here to live a perfect life. Just because we're in a spiritual mode doesn't mean we don't make
Yep.
mistakes. We don't get things wrong. I mean,
Mhm.
we're human,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's all about like accepting if you make a mistake, allowing, that love to kind of take over and show you the way.
Yeah.
Because it can, if you
Mhm.
really just follow your heart, it can show you back.
Yeah. It's so true. If you I love that. I love that. If you follow your heart, I mean, there's so many of us and that just don't. I mean, there are so many times in our life, all of us, I'm sure we all do this,
Mm.
but it's like there's so many of us that just sometimes don't follow our hearts, regardless of whether that's in relation to other people or to ourselves.
Mhm.
I mean, and then that brings me to the idea of spending time on our heart chakra. you know, and really, because it's not just the heart chakra, which is green. That's why we're my sort of greenish thing today.
Beautiful. I love it. I love
But
it.
you know, that's why I focus sometimes on the heart chakra, because it's the heart chakra isn't just about like universal love. Yes, it's about universal love, all of that stuff of the world and blah, blah, blah. But it's also about loving ourselves, you know, and it's also about loving all of those around us, the individuals in our lives, you know? So it's like love isn't just like a tunnel vision thing. I think that some people think it's like this tunnel vision thing, but it is truly the true essence of who we are. Wow.
And do you think, I know that's beautiful. Do you think
that actually was channeled? I didn't feel like that.
And I think you did amazing. That was great. And it made me think right away, like, do you think that, you know, and some people get annoyed with this and some people agree with it. And I'm just curious what you think that, and I don't know if I'm going to say this right, but you know, if we can love ourselves first, then that opens us up for true love, like a healthy love.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with that. And you know what? It's funny that you should say it that way, because years and years ago, when I first started following Esther Hicks, you know, Abraham Hicks, if you're familiar with them, the law of attraction people.
Yeah.
And she said that in a thing, in like a session that she did. She said that. She said, you know, it's okay to love yourself and to put yourself first.
Yeah.
And back at that time, I was rubbed wrong by that. I'm just like, I was brought up that we put other people first and that we're not, you know, that wasn't how we do things, you know?
Yeah.
But the reality is, you know, it's okay to put yourself first. In fact, it should be encouraged. Like, I get it now, you know, because exactly what you said. Because when you learn how to love yourself and you learn how to love everything else, then
you opened up for like a healthy love. See, I grew up feeling that I had to give.
Yeah.
And, you know, and so I kind of didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
And so, of course, the first marriage didn't work out. I think what happened was, you know, after the second child, I found my voice. Because I had no voice, and all of a sudden I started speaking up, and then it was all over after that. Because I think he liked that quiet one that just was all about him. But I was like, I need like, I'm going to be 30 here. I need something for me.
Yeah.
So, you know, I found my voice at 29. I always say that. It was right after my daughter was just a baby. Wow. And, you know, then I got my divorce and started going to family therapy with the children to try to rebuild. And I was very annoyed that the therapist told me that I shouldn't have me time, that it was all about my kids. And I said to him, and I remember finding my voice and just being, because the old me would have been like, you're right, I'm such a bad mom. But it was like, I can't be a good mom if I don't have my time for myself to do what I need to do.
For sure.
And take care of my needs and who I am.
Wow.
I go, and that makes me a better mom. And he thought I was being selfish. And so then my kids, so I had to get a new therapist. Then my kids started calling me selfish because I had my night out Wednesday nights. We did karaoke. That was like, I finally had like a thing I did with my friends.
Yeah.
Karaoke Wednesday night. The kids were like, you know, they had a babysitter or they were with their dad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not the end of the world. That was my time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I think we live in a society where women are told that you're not supposed to, you know, take care of you, that you're supposed to take care of everybody else. And that's not right. We have to take care, and not just women, but men too. Yeah. My husband's just like me. He's a people pleaser. He's also the one that wants to take care of everybody and everything. Yeah. You know, and I think that's why we're so good together. We help each other in that sense.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's like that feels really strong. That's like a really strong relationship. It feels like, you know?
Yeah. He's my best friend. He annoys the heck out of me, but he's my best friend.
Yeah. I totally get that. I can totally understand that.
We have so much fun though. And we banter back and forth so much that my son thought that was arguing for the longest time. And I'm like, son, you have no idea what an argument is like. I'm like, let's watch some movies about just like really dysfunctional families. And you're going to realize. So now that he's like, when he was like 15 last year, he finally was like around other families and other kids, because he's kind of been sheltered because he's a little bit weird and a lot of kids didn't like him, but he's making friends finally.
Oh,
And
that's
he
good.
comes home and he says, I'm the only one who has parents that are still married and get along.
Wow.
He goes, I'm the this is not normal.
Yeah.
And I go, well, yeah. And he goes, and you guys like each other. I go,
Yeah.
yeah, we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
I have to tell you, you know what happened to me one time? So I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but one time, so like I'm outspoken. Okay. I've already established that, right? So my husband and I, when my daughter, she was like 6 or 7 years old, right? So we argue. We're both fire signs. We're both, you know, type A personalities, right? We argue sometimes. That doesn't mean that we don't love each other. That doesn't mean all of that stuff. So anyway, so we got into this fight. So she goes to school the next day and tells everybody that we're getting divorced.
because they don't know.
My God.
They
So
don't
all these
understand.
people start calling me. They're like, are you okay? How you doing? And I'm just like, oh, we're fine. Well, you know, the rumor mill is going here, and you know,
Oh my gosh,
like if you need any help, and I'm like, we're fine. So then what we had to do, I got this idea. I said, Keith, we're gonna walk up to that school and we're just gonna hand in hand, and that's what we did. We made our little appearance.
That is awesome.
So
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I know. I mean, things happen, but you know what? The reality is that everybody's relationship is different. There might still be love there, but you can still argue. It's okay to argue.
It's okay. You know, and my husband, he doesn't like conflict or confrontation. And so, you know, he frequently thinks when I have a different opinion that I'm trying to argue. And I'm like, you've got to get over that one, you know, because I'm like, I have opinions and they're not always the same as yours. And I'm not arguing.
Right. Totally.
I mean, I'm not going to conform and just agree to agree. I have to speak my mind, because that's part of, I feel like, loving me.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. And we're allowed that, you know,
Right,
and it's still in a place of love.
It is, you know, I mean, I am brutally honest when it comes to our business and our employees. You know, I intuitively read every employee energetically and tell them my immediate feelings. And I'll tell you what, I'm 100% accurate.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
It's been many years.
You're an amazing medium, so I know that's true.
And he's still, you know, he's very intuitive. And I will admit that I have been accurate, but he was more accurate. So he likes to give a lot of second chances. I'm like, out. We're done. I mean, I give second chances too, but certain people, it's not worth it. So where it comes to giving like 3 or 4 chances, that's him. And he's been right usually.
Yeah.
He has a feeling, you know, about this person. And so I've learned to trust his feelings over mine.
But that, you know what, though, that again is a good partnership. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you go back and forth and
he started out as my boss. I don't know. I was his bookkeeper, you know.
That's pretty cool. That's really awesome.
I know. We joked about I was good when I got pregnant with Aiden. I'm like, I should file workers' comp because you got me pregnant.
Don't give people ideas.
You know what? If somebody does it, let me know. I want to know how it worked out. I want to know if I should have done it.
All those years. Oh my gosh.
It could have been really funny though. I feel like it would have been one of those funny cases, you know, like just for laughs.
Yeah.
We have a weird sense of humor. Yeah.
No, I love it. That's like, you know what? You're yourself, you know.
Yes.
Everybody is who they are, you know. But I wanted to share with you guys though. This I did a reading when we were talking about doing a show about love. I wanted to share this with you guys because this happened to me during a reading many years ago. Now, I'll tell you, I don't remember readings. You know, I'll have a reading and because that's like the true definition of a medium. It comes in and it comes out the mouth and then you're done. You know,
it's gone. Like I don't certain things will stick, but not
Yeah, exactly. Certain things stick. Well, this stuck because it was about love. This was incredible. So this girl was my sitter. I was giving her a reading, and her father came through, and he had been a professor. Okay.
Ooh.
So he was so willing to teach us what it's like on the other side, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this is what he said about love. Okay. He said, you all down there think you know what love is. You think you know what love is. Love is, love of the dog, love of yourself, love of others, love of the world. You think you understand it all, but you don't. And I was like, whoa, this is big, right?
Yeah.
He said, when you get to the other side, imagine that feeling of love infinitely larger to the point where you can't even fathom it. And I'm just like, whoa, because that's what he said the love is like on the other
Yeah.
side.
Yeah.
He said, you can't even, on earth, you cannot fathom it. Even if you think you know what unconditional love is,
Mhm.
You don't. And I was like, whoa, that is like huge. So
I do love that.
I
Yes.
know. Isn't that amazing?
Mavis said something too, and this is about like people that weren't great people on earth, but they passed away, and what happens to them, right? And I love how she worded it, and I'm sure I'm paraphrasing, and I'm not saying it exactly right, but she basically said that they still go to the spirit world just like all of us, but they're going to be surrounded with a lot more love
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because their soul has to experience all the pain that they caused others in this earth.
Mm.
And they have to understand from everybody's perspective the pain that was caused by their actions. And so then the spirit world provides them with extra love for that experience to help them grow and evolve as a soul. So I do believe that it is full of love. And Aiden told me when he was like 6 years old, he frequently had shadow people in his room that talk to him. They don't normally talk to people, but he started talking to his,
Mm-hmm.
and they were educating him on the spirit world. And they wanted him to know that it was beyond our comprehension, that it was the only word that they could use for how it works over there is levels, even though it's not really levels, but that's a human word. And that, it's part of our growth, and that this soul was being called a shadow person because he had lessons to learn. And so he was more just shadowing people where he was learning from.
Yeah.
And when he was done, he would move on.
Yeah.
And I remember Aiden woke up one day, he's like, yeah, my shadow man moved on.
So was he sad about that? Or like,
No, but the guy taught him. So this is when he's 6 years old, and he was already a computer genius at like a year and a half. He was like already like typing his name and logging into all his games.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and mastered the computer, and none of my other kids could. I was like, he takes after his mama, because I'm a computer nerd. Anyways, I started teaching him all about like programming when it first started, and the IBM computers, and how everything was like ones and zeros and all this. And he's like explaining this to me, and the architecture of like the first computer and how it came about. And he's 6 years old. Wow. And I was like, who taught you this? He's like, oh, just my shadow man. He lived in that time. He was part of he said he was somebody who was part of the creation of the IBM.
Oh
I was like, what?
Oh
so I was like, so he was like, yeah, so he was just teaching me because he knows I'm into computers.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
That is incredible.
But I love the concept though of coming from a 6-year-old, like in the same kind of concept, like it's not something we as humans can understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't know, one of my favorite like messages I feel like is kind of universal that I get with a lot of readings. And I think people know this as well, but nothing really matters here except for the moments that we make, the memories that we make. So those being present in the here and the now is all that matters. Your money doesn't matter. Your fancy cars doesn't matter. I mean, they're fun. I'm not going to lie. I love to go spend money and drive in a fancy car.
Absolutely.
But They don't matter. What
Yeah.
matters is the memories.
Yeah.
And when we die, that's all we get to take with us. We don't get to take a U-Haul and pack all these fancy things
Yeah.
that we accumulated over the years.
Yep. Yep.
None of it matters. So, really, if you break it down to the simplicity of like memories, love, living in that moment, and really just being free, imagine, what that would feel like if we could all just do that.
Yeah. That's so beautiful. So beautiful. And I love the idea that, I mean, gosh, what am I trying to say? I just feel like that we need to keep reminding ourselves over and over and over again about that,
Right?
because I stress, like our washer and dryer went out last week. And so we were stressed about money and stressed about this, stressed about that, as you do, when an appliance breaks or whatever. But then it's just like, wait a minute, I'm going to like calm down about this, because guess what? In the whole grand scheme of like everything, it's all okay. Like we still have each other. We're healthy. We're loved. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yes. It's that gratitude. It's finding that gratitude for the little things, which are really the important things.
Yes.
Whenever things get stressful, like my husband's a contractor, and we had all this work lined up for January and February, 3 big jobs. And we usually get like a 50% deposit, and he didn't take any other jobs because that's how we're a small company. We just take on 1 job at a time, or 2 jobs, right?
Yeah.
They all pushed out.
Oh no.
So we had no work all of January, and my husband was just like panicked about money.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but what does that do, worrying?
Yeah.
What is it? I mean, we have a house over, we have a roof over our head, we have clothing, we have food, we have money in the bank, we have everything we need. And money always shows up when we need it.
Yeah. Well, maybe it was like a rest, like a spirit induced rest.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I think it was, is that, he was having all this stress, and then we finally go do one of the jobs, and we flew to Vegas because it was going to be in Vegas. He had a job he was finishing up, and then we were going to go to Utah to go measure for the next job. And it canceled the first week. So he had a day off in Vegas with me. And I said, you needed the rest. So we had fun. The next week, we went back to go do the Utah thing, and we went to Vegas to finish up the last bit of that job. And then we were going to go to Utah again on Friday. The job got pushed out till end of March.
Oh my gosh.
And then he had Friday off again. And I was like, you know what? The universe is just telling you to relax.
Yeah.
And it ended up working out, because then he panicked because all the jobs are going to happen at the same time. Now they're not. And so it's like all kind of, but I said, all that worry, what did it do? Yeah. It did nothing but cause you stress. And here I am sitting over here. He calls it my la la land. But I go, I'm sitting over here in my la la land. I'm all happy. And I'm not worried about anything, because I know it always works out.
Yeah. Yeah. And that would be like your affirmation,
Right? It is my affirmation. He gets so mad when I say that, but then when it always works out, he's like, I know, you're always right. It always does work out. I don't know why I waste my energy. I go, I don't know either. I said, but I can't join that bandwagon. I'm over here being happy.
Yeah. Right? And wow, that is extraordinary. That is such a great story and a great lesson.
I think that we forget sometimes. We get so caught up in like the everyday bustle, like, work, this, that, that we forget to just kind of be like, hey, I'm going to sleep in today. I'm going to relax today, or to take that time. Like, I have a day off. I'm just going to do nothing. Like, there's such guilt about doing nothing.
Yeah.
But that's self-love. That's self-love. Like letting yourself just relax.
That's so true. So, and I fall into that too. So during the pandemic, when we were all, had to be home,
Right. That was so hard in the beginning. Oh my God.
For me, I loved every second, but that's another story. But so every day. So eventually I decided I was going to get up every morning and go on Insight Timer, where I'm a teacher, and just do live meditations every day.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
So I did, right? And then over the course of the thing, it was like, you know, I'm going to do this. Well, slowly but surely, as we've been coming out of the, you know, the what is that called? Not evacuation. What's it called when we're
The pandemic.
the pandemic? Yeah.
Yeah.
So slowly but surely, I've been stopping doing every day. And then just about 2 weeks ago, I was like, you know what? I was doing Oracle cards on Wednesdays on Inside Timer. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do these anymore because it's too early in the morning now. It used to be like, okay, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because I was
No.
kind of okay with it, but now it's like, it's just too early in the morning. So I just stopped doing them altogether. And I'm still doing my Thursday night because I do a Thursday night mediumship thing on Inside Timer, which is great. And I'm still on there. It's not like I'm not on the
Yeah.
platform anymore, but it's like, you know what? So I felt guilty. The reason why I'm telling you that story is I felt guilty about it because, you know, I mean, do people rely on getting that Oracle card reading? You know, I mean, you know, but I felt guilty about it. But then I was like, you know what? Because I'm going through some health challenges, you know, too right now. And
Right.
I need that extra, even though it's only a half an hour.
But
I need that
it's important. Yeah. I need it too. I don't know about you, but I have a hard time sleeping now. And all my life I've slept 5 or 6 hours. That's all I've needed. I get great 5-6 hours sleep.
Wow.
I'm perfect my whole entire life. But now I can't even get a solid 5 or 6 hours.
Really?
And it's very broken up.
Yeah.
And so I have always also struggled with sleeping past 9 o'clock or sleeping past 8 o'clock even. You know, like it's been like this guilt thing because as a child, my mom would come in my room on the weekends with the vacuum at 9 a.m. You've missed half the day. What are you doing in bed still? You know, as a teenager. And I'm like, Mom, I just got home at like 4 a.m. and she doesn't know. You know?
Right.
But so I have this like extreme guilt over sleeping in. And I've been trying to allow myself to sleep in because I seem to fall asleep right around 5 a.m.
Oh. Why is that? I totally understand that.
I don't know.
What is that?
You know, I know that we go through hormone changes as we get older. We're women, and not to talk about that boring stuff, but you know, it happens.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll figure it out, but it's very frustrating. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm looking for ways to sleep that are not medication. You know, and I've been trying some THC gummies, and they help for the most part, but sometimes they don't work. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's why we're going through the same thing. You know, what is it that we can do, you know?
Yeah, because I don't want to take pills.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
not my thing.
But you know what? What I started doing, and it works sometimes because if I allow it to work, it works. But I just ask Archangel Raphael to help put me to sleep.
Okay.
So try it, and
I will try it. I have done that
too
before.
hyper, it won't work. I got to be honest. If I'm too hyper, it won't work. But you know, you can just ask Archangel Raphael to, like, you know, help, you know, calm my thoughts down, help to heal, and you know, the cards just went flying again.
I know, you're cracking me up. It's like your energies. It's just
I think that might mean we're supposed to do a couple.
That's what I was just gonna say. Would anybody like a reading? Let's post the link, Brianna, if you can, in there for anybody who'd like a reading. You can come on, or if you want to ask a question, we'll try to do both. We'll pick some people that come on and we'll do some questions in the comments.
That's because it's on the corner of the table.
Yeah, so funny. Yeah, so Brianna's going to put a link on here for us, or I will try to do it. Let's see. Invite, copy. Here, I got it, Brianna, because I think she might have stepped away. There you go, guys. There's the link, and I'm going to put it up here, too, on the screen. So just, she did it right after me. Oh, sorry, Brianna. We both did it, but that's all right. Now they got it twice. Let's see. The snow. Yeah, she's in the snow area, so her internet's a little slow, guys. But yeah, if you want to get a reading, come on in the background. Oh, there we go. We've got Sandy. Let's bring her up. Hi, Sandy.
Hi there.
Hi, Sandy. Nice to meet you.
How can we help you today? What kind of reading did you want?
Whatever spirit feels I should have.
Well, I'm gonna let Lauri go because she's already thrown cards everywhere.
I know.
I feel like she's
Cards
on
are
a
flying
roll.
all over the place.
Yeah, you go first, Lauri. All right, and then
Okay,
I'll
you know
pick the
what?
next one.
I am going to pull from the Sacred Forest deck. I'm going to pull a card for you and I'll see what Spirit has to say about it. This deck is like so high vibrational. It's like my favorite deck that I use. So, all right. So the card that I pulled for you, what is your name? Debbie? I'm sorry.
Sandy.
Sandy. I'm sorry.
That's
sorry
okay.
about that. Sorry about that. Okay. So Sandy, this is the card I just pulled for you. It says Earth Spirit. Look at that little fairy. She's so cute.
Aw.
Like she's amazing. And it says stability. So what, based on that, what I'm really getting for you, Sandy, is that, I feel like that, and this is kind of interesting because it feels like it's almost more in your head than it is like in your body. But like, I feel like you have this going on and this going on and this going on and this going on. And I feel like you have all these things, but I feel like it's mostly like organizational in your head. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, I mean, and obviously there's stuff going on in your life that's like a physical aspect to that. But what I feel like that Spirit is telling me to say to you is to, give yourself the gift of self-care. Okay. Start to allow yourself to meditate. Are you a meditator? Do you
Yes,
meditate?
I do.
Do you meditate consistently?
Every morning.
Oh, good for you. I love that. So in your meditations, create the intention that you're going to ground yourself. I feel like I'm like supposed to tell you to ground yourself and like connect yourself to the earth. So whenever I say to like do things that are self-care in terms of that would be like, taking a nice walk, and you don't have to be a tree hugger, but but like notice the beauty that's out there like in nature. So that's what I feel like Spirit is telling me for you. So Kelley, what do you have?
I have to unmute myself. That was beautiful. I was trying not to tune in until you were done because I didn't want to tune in, but
oh right, have the same.
Yeah, I wanted to see. I'm going to tune in and see what I get. But I agreed with everything you said. I think that was beautiful. I don't think we have a particular question, so I'm just going to kind of tune in and tell you what I feel. Okay, Sandy? I feel like you're a very analytical person, that you like to tend to analyze things a lot. Do you understand this? And that can get you overthinking in your mind sometimes. And I know that you meditate because I heard that. I want to suggest that you start journaling, because I think that's going to be a way to clear your thoughts and find a little bit more clarity on the decisions that you're trying to make. Because I do feel like you struggle with making a decision at times, and then you double, like, kind of like overthink it, or should have, could have, all of that. And instead of trusting.
Yeah.
So, and there's a part of you that has a little bit of a, like, wanting to be in control when you know you can't be, but you still try. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So I think journaling is going to help you a lot. And I think when you do your meditation, one of the things I love to do, and I always tell people to do, is at the end of your meditation, set your intention for the day. And or say an affirmation for your day to really set the intention, because it could be an affirmation for your day, right? But one of the things I like to do is to make sure that I'm always, following my intuition, following my gut, and trusting it. That's when I like to set mine for. But it can be, to have an open heart and to be more compassionate, not to overthink. It could be so many things, but like find, what you need to focus on for that day and set that intention and see if things change and see if decisions come much easier for you. Because I feel like you're somebody that if you're in a situation where there's a lot coming at you at once, you're great at making those quick decisions. But if you have time to think through it, you start to agonize over it. Because now you're getting in your head rather than your heart, right?
Yes.
And that gut.
I know it should be one question, but the card says stability, and really deep in my heart, my question is, should I move?
Are you moving by yourself, or are you moving with other people?
Just me.
Yeah, I think it could be a good move for you. And talking of stability, I feel like if you did the move, for some reason, I feel like financially it's going to be better for you. And that's going to bring you more stability and comfort. And is this out of state? Because I feel like we're moving far.
Oh, I really hadn't even thought that far. I guess that's a possibility.
Are you somewhere warm now?
No.
Because I feel like you're moving somewhere warm.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I just want to tell you, I feel like there's more sun. Okay. A drier weather. That's what I hear. All right. So that's what I see. And I also feel like you've already been manifesting this move. You've already put the feelers out to the universe and things are lining up and opportunities are coming your way now. So be open and look for those opportunities because you could potentially miss them if you're not being open and looking for them. That's sometimes a common mistake that we do when we're manifesting is that we say all these things that we're trying to create, but then we forget to really kind of jump on the opportunities too. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And I'm going to add Keith on here. Hi, Keith.
Hi, how are you?
Hi,
Great.
Keith.
How can we help you today? What kind of a reading did you want?
Well, my question is I'm focusing on trying to buy a house, and I'm trying to get a time frame of maybe when this might be coming.
So you already have your money saved up and you're already pre-approved for a loan, right?
No, I haven't done any of that yet.
So the minute you do that, I feel like it happens fast.
Okay.
So I do think that you will have a house within a year.
Yep, that makes sense because I was thinking more towards springtime, really starting to ramp everything up. Because right now I live in Maine, so, right now it's kind of slow.
But I feel like it kind of all lines up and falls into place perfectly, and it's going to be within a year. So I think you're do your research and get pre-approved and all that first, but it'll all work out. That's what I feel. You're overthinking all of it too. I feel like you're worried about going and doing all that and hearing bad news, but I feel like it's going to be good news. Does that make sense?
It does, because that is a huge thing of me as saying, oh, sorry, we can't pre-approve you and all this kind of stuff.
If my nephew can get approved, anybody can. Let me just tell you. It's my joke. He's 25. He's so cute. But anyways, we always joke with him about that. We're like, they approved you? No, it's just a joke. But no, I think you'll be fine. I think that you're overthinking it. I think that you'll qualify. And I also feel like, when you're looking to buy your house, I feel like you're going to find it when you're just driving around. You're going to spot this house and be like, that's my house. And you're going to get it. That's how I feel like it happens for you. Because you're very intuitive and you follow that gut.
I try to. I am on the spiritual path of trying naturally to start opening up more with my intuition, things, signs, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like you'll be out driving one day and you're like, there's my house. And it's like the perfect house for you. It's everything you wanted and it all falls into place. That's how I feel it happens. What about you, Lauri? Do you see anything?
I have to tell you, I feel like your spirit guide. Have you met your spirit guides, Keith?
Not that I know of. I'll be honest. I'm not a good meditator. I'm not any of that. I'm pretty much wake up, throw my clothes on, go to work, come home, and then try to do everything.
I feel like that you have this spirit guide with you that is like so much fun. I mean, from the second that you popped on, I just feel like that I want to hang out with you, and you are like somebody that likes to laugh and just move forward, and just like I don't want to say that you're carefree because, but I feel like that you're somebody who doesn't sweat the small stuff too much, right? Like we all do, I'm sure. But I really feel like that you have this spirit guide with you that is on this road with you for this. And I feel like that the spirit guide is talking so much about have fun with this. Don't allow it to drag you down and make you worried or scared or all that stuff. Have fun with it. Be light with it. I feel like I'm seeing, like, you're going to laugh when I say this, but I'm seeing like parties at your house. Yeah. I feel like that you are going to have, and I don't mean like big ragers. I don't think
like
you're
very
like that,
social though.
But yeah, I feel like that you're really social and that you have really fun parties. And when I say party, it doesn't have to be like 2,500 people. I mean, like it could be, 10 people or whatever, but I just feel like that you're creating like this community somehow. Does that make sense to you?
It does, because in all honesty, my biggest huge dream is to have a house big enough to hold like a spiritual gallery, because I do feel that's where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
But on the same time, I've got to work to have that money to be able to do this.
Right. I know exactly what you're saying. Because, I mean, I totally understand that. But I would tell you, and again, this is your spirit guide talking to me. Okay. He's saying that he really wants you to meditate. Please start to meditate. Even if it's just 10 minutes sitting by yourself, in the morning, just sitting, not like with your coffee and your phone in your hand, but, but like, just actually, I feel like tea. Are you a tea drinker?
No, I am a 100% coffee drinker. I do drink tea at nighttime sometimes.
Oh, okay.
If my stomach lets me.
Right. God, totally understand that. But yeah, I feel like that. Just sit by yourself for 10 minutes. You can set a timer if you're like the type of like person where it's like, I gotta go. I got stuff to do, set a timer and just give yourself the gift of time. So I think that'll really help you through this whole process. So.
Well, maybe I'll start that tonight then.
Yes.
Good luck.
Thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. I'm going to put you back in the back room, okay? Bye. So let's answer some of the questions here before we take the next person up, because people are posting in the comments here. So this, I just want to go back. There was a couple. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. There's so much going on here. I have a bit of a tracking issue, but I'm doing my best. Here we go. I thought there was more. Oh, okay. Well, we'll start here. There is another one. I just found it. So this one's from Stephanie. It says, my ex and I broke up over 2 years ago. I get strange dreams about him and his health. Any messages about him? His name is Matt. Let me just go and tell you, I feel like Matt has been thinking about you, and I feel like that's why he's coming up in your dreams. When it comes to his health, I don't know that I feel much going on with his health other than normal age-related stuff. Because I feel like he's still, young and healthy and all that. Like, I don't think there's anything major. I do think, though, that he's going through a difficult time in his life emotionally, and for whatever reason, you've been on his mind, and you guys are still, I want to say, somewhat tied energetically, because perhaps there wasn't a lot of closure, or there's things you guys haven't really finished, because I feel like there's still a bit of a tie, and that's why you're tuning into each other and why he's showing up in your dreams. And I think the dreams are strange, and they're about his health, because I feel like that's more about your emotions manifesting into his health in your dreams. I know that's really out there, but that's just what it feels like to me. And I don't know if the health that you're envisioning in the dreams has to do with his stomach or pain in that area. But that's where I feel it. But I don't think he's actually sick. I think it's more your emotions manifesting in the dream that way. And as I tune into it more, he did have, okay. Yeah. So, and that's fine, but I feel like he's okay. I feel like he's, that's like, I don't know. I just feel like he's doing okay. He's had a few mini strokes.
Jeez.
I don't know. I'm not feeling that right now. So I'm going to look here on the positive side and be like, I don't tune in and feel that with his name. So if you're worried and having dreams, it's possible your worry is getting in the dream. And you are feeling him because he's having an emotional time right now, hard time right now. You're feeling that, and then the worry sets in. Does that make sense, Lauri? Did it make sense?
It's just so funny because everything that you were saying, like I was thinking something and then you'd say it. That's how connected you and I are. Which is cool.
I know, we're always like on that same page.
Yeah,
That's how Cheryl is with me too. We do the same thing.
Love that. But I'm feeling more of a stress actually from this guy. I'm feeling more of like he is stressed about stuff. And I feel like Kelley was saying, that there's something that's not exactly finished between the two of you. And that doesn't mean that like you're supposed to get back together and blah, blah, blah. No. It's just that there's something that's that was maybe left unsaid. Oh, she wrote, the few mini strokes. But it's interesting because I also feel like, and I don't know if you can answer this. I kind of am feeling like that you're supposed to be friends. It feels like that the two of you are supposed to be friends. Like the energy between you doesn't feel partnership, per se, but it feels friendly. And that's extraordinary. Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I could never, with my exes, there's no way I can be friends with them. You know what I mean? Because I was never like that, but you know what? More power to you if you can do that. Right. I'm also feeling, Stephanie, really quick about you. Oh, he cheated and it was difficult. There you go. That's why. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing that I feel though, Stephanie, I'm feeling something about the relationship that you're in right now. And I'm sorry, I know that has to do with your ex, but it's either a relationship that you're gonna be starting, or it's a relationship that is just new. Okay, so there's something that you're on the precipice, if that's the right word, of starting something new, and it feels really good and it feels really healthy. I just wanted to like throw that in. So yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Well, and then there's one more that I wanted. Somebody would like you to pull them a card, and then we'll bring somebody up on the screen. Oh, it's almost getting to the end. Well, let's do this card here. Maybe one more reading, and then we'll be done. Where did it go?
Okay. Good, ooh. Stephanie she just had a first date with a new guy. So there you go.
Yay! Good job. Okay. So Aaron Smith would love a card. So if you're still listening in, Aaron, she's going to pull you a card right now.
I am. All right. Okay, so here is the card for Aaron. This is so funny. This is kind of like the theme for the day. Be gentle with yourself. But I want you guys to see, that's what it says. But look at the beautiful artwork.
That is gorgeous. I love those cards. I need them.
Jeez, they are the Nature's Whispers Oracle cards. Beautiful, beautiful. So Aaron, what I want to say about this is another one about self-care. I feel like and Aaron, I'm just going to say it this way. I feel like it's a little bit more urgent for you to start the self-care. I am feeling like that you are all about everybody else all the time. Okay. Yeah. You got to stop that. You just got to stop that, let yourself, this is why meditation is so freaking amazing.
Yes, it is.
Giving yourself that gift of starting with 10 minutes a day. Mm-hmm. It's just sitting quiet with yourself for 10 minutes. Give yourself that gift. Okay. That is I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to you since we're almost finished.
Well, no, I'm going to leave that with you because it was a card, and let's just bring on one more person and then we're going to finish up. She said, yes, Pisces, sun and moon. All right.
Oh, there you go.
So I don't know. I'm going to try here. Evelyn doesn't have her camera on. I don't know if this will work, but let's try. Oh, hi, Evelyn.
Oh, hi, Evelyn.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, we have a
we have a
Yeah, I think she should.
Yeah, I think she should turn down.
So I think we gotta mute you.
We gotta mute you.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You might have us on in the background, Evelyn, on your phone. Are you on a phone or an iPad? Like, we can't hear you because we got to
mute you.
Oh no, I think we have to take you off. It's too much feedback. I'm sorry. I wanted to bring you on, but try to go out and come back in, but I think we're about to end anyways. I'm sorry. Next week, all right? All right. Oops. So we have Frank. Frank, how's it going?
Hi, Frank.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Now we can't hear him.
I know. I didn't mute. Here, unmute. Maybe I did mute him. Nope. Your mic isn't connected, it says.
Oh.
Well, I think that's
Isn't that interesting how Spirit does that?
I know. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry. Next week. Okay. I think that's a sign from the universe that it's time to end.
Too. Oh my gosh.
So we will be back next week, but I will with Cheryl, and I'm sure we will have Lauri on again. Lauri, would you like to share any of your upcoming events and your website?
I am so excited. My website is laurialbert.com, and I just redid it. So that's like kind of exciting. But I have a manifestation workshop that is going to be interactive. Okay. And it is coming up. It's the 25th of February. And it's only like, I think I charged only like $20. And I manifested, and I can't tell you what it is just yet, but I manifested something really, really big. And I am going to share that. And I know that's a serious tease, and I'm really sorry to do that.
Yeah.
But I am super excited about it because we are going to talk all about manifesting, the challenges that you have, the new things to try, the commitment that it takes. We're going to talk about all the aspects of it. So it's next Saturday, the 25th. It's on evolveme.com. And super, super excited about it. So that's my big thing. And I just scheduled a whole bunch of lives. So on Instagram and Evolve Me and stuff. So I'll be doing that. So.
And what's that book behind you?
Come see me. What?
That book behind you.
Oh, yes. I wrote a book. I wrote a book on manifesting. You were like, the book. I'm like, what book? And for some reason I went to, is it The Alchemist sitting back there? Because I didn't know. I know. How silly am I? Yeah. I wrote a book about manifestation, and it's called Manifestation Journal for Beginners. And it's like, I wouldn't say everything, because you never want to say everything, right? But it's jam-packed with a lot of stuff. And then there's a nice area for journaling and that sort of thing. So yeah. Thank you for saying that, Kelley.
Yes. I mean, I'm going to help you out here. And I'm just going to share, I am putting together this amazing Egypt trip that is in November. And I have a meeting on Sunday for anybody who's curious. It's egypt.eventbrite.com. It's a free 1-hour meeting, and I'm just going to answer questions and tell everybody about the trip. I'm very excited. It's in November 11th, 11/11 to 11/22. It's 12-day, 11-night trip, and there's so many amazing things we're packing into that trip. Definitely come to the meeting if you're curious, learn about it, find out what you need to do to sign up, whatever. Come join me on Sunday on join on Eventbrite, and it'll give you the link to the Zoom.
That sounds so exciting.
I know. I'm so excited. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that and see everybody next week. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate you. Kelley, you are just so awesome. Thank you so much.
We love you.
I love you too. Love to see you.
The truth is here and now on WLTKDB Talk Radio at WLTKDB.com.